0.5% on the Sensex, 1% on the Nifty. You're watching Midcap Radar. Let's get a technical view on where the markets are headed. Rohit Srivastava is fund manager at Protech Managed Futures Accounts at Sharekhan. He joins us right now. Rohit, thanks for joining us. Let's start out with 2 or 3 sectors that have been moving on an upward momentum. Sugar, perhaps, and fertilizers. Could you comment on where do you see these particular stocks headed?
Okay, I've not really looked at fertilizers, but I've looked at sugar. And when we look at sugar, especially from a longer term point of view, there's probably a significant single leg up left as far as the long term bullish trend is concerned. So somewhere over the next year, we are expecting a positive cycle for sugar stocks, and that should be good.
Okay, losses at MRO Tech. Rohit, more importantly, the index. At 2850. Do you see the Nifty having a chance of revisiting those October lows? After all, we are getting a lot of bad news from the US, and we continue to.
Well, if you look at it broadly, what's happened over the last 2 months is one, the amount of volume that you're getting in the market in terms of number of shares is actually near what you were getting at the peak of last year, which means after a big lull, you've suddenly got volume. There's a lot of interest. And if somebody's buying. The second thing is, as far as bad news is concerned, the first round of bad news took us to as low as 7,600 on the Sensex. When we had the Mumbai blast, we saw close to 8,300, and now with the Satyam issue, we are seeing close to around 9,000, which is that each piece of panic is getting absorbed with a higher bottom on the Sensex, a higher level, and that's and amidst a lot of volume, that clearly shows a sign of an accumulation pattern building here, and bad news just getting absorbed. So I don't think there's much of an issue as far as news is concerned. Most of it is getting discounted.
Rohit, we need to take a break. We'll be back in just a bit. Please stay there.
European markets trade 2% high. You're watching Midcap Radar. Rohit Srivastava, fund manager, Protech Managed Futures, is still with us. Rohit, very quickly, from the mid-cap indices, not the big cap, the mid-cap and small cap, what is your estimate where they are heading, looking on the charts for the next 1 month, 7 days, and then 1 month?
Okay, I think somewhere we are going to be retesting the recent highs, and I think the high that you saw in October, rather early November, should get taken out, and I think that should happen over, like you're saying, the 7 days or 10-day time period. The second part would be where would be heading overall. I think somewhere closer to 3,800 to 4,000 on the BSE mid-cap index is the likely target right now for a little medium-term point of view.
We'll have to leave it there. Thanks very much for joining us today, and thank you for joining us on Midcap Radar from Lata and me. That's all the time we have. NSE closing bell coming up.